Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am bringing you some more $5 meals. These are all made by the clearance section of two different grocery stores. I went to King Soopers and I went to Safeway. I went directly to their clearance section and I shopped from there. So of course yours is going to vary, but I tried to choose ingredients that are available to everybody. And I really hope that these serve as an inspiration to cook on the cheap for your family. If you are experiencing any sort of food insecurity in your home, please dial your local 211. You could contact a local church group, a local food bank. Any type of school district is helping out with some food shortage issues right now. Or if all else fails, please contact me. My email is listed in the description box down below, and I will try my best to help out with whatever is going on in your area. One of my favorite $5 meals coming at you. Of course, it is vegan, but you could add sausage if you wanted to, but this is easy. To bulk it up, we do a couple of red potatoes. We are making like a Cajun Couscous. You could use rice instead, or maybe lentils, or even noodles for this. It's really whatever you want to do. And then I have a black bean corn bell pepper blend with onion. I'm doing some rotel in here. And then, of course, star of the show is couscous. This is essentially a one-pot meal. You just have to cook the potatoes ahead a little bit. I just cook it in some water and oil and then go from there. But this is really easy and really tasty, and it's actually super filling. I have enough in the $5 because this comes to about $3 right now, serving 3 people, maybe 4 if you can get by with that. But I have enough to add spinach to it, so I'm going to add spinach and hemp seeds. So you would have enough to add chorizo or regular sausage or ground beef. Whatever meat is on sale, add that to this. Even if fish is on sale, add that to this. I've added tuna to this, and it's not bad. The Cajun seasoning really does a lot. So I'm gonna throw this in the pot, and I'll show you how it comes out. Potatoes are cooking. I'm gonna do some salt and pepper, a little bit of water in there, and just a splash of oil for the cast iron. I did end up adding 2 cups of water here, or you could use veggie broth instead. I just save all of my veggie scraps, put them in the freezer, and then I boil it, and that is how I do my veggie stock. So basically you do not have to pay for it if you are using a lot of vegetables in your household like we do. Tonight we are making some veggie burgers. So I have some leftover chili from the other night, but if you want to make this super easy and add something extra, you could substitute with some of this chunky beef chili. They make veggie versions as well and just out, so I'm not going to use this. This one is my sweet potato, black bean, and corn. The video is, I'll have it just linked in my description box for you. I think that'll be easier. Still under $5 to make this, so if you have leftover, perfect. You're gonna blend this all together, and then you're gonna add some instant oats, and that will make it thick. We're gonna bake the veggie patties, but you could fry these like a regular burger. It just depends on how you wanna make them. And then I'm gonna serve mine over some lettuce or something like that, but you could serve it with, you know, regular buns and all the fixings and things like that. Not sure what I'm going to serve it with, but it will be under $5. Let me show you how this goes together. All right, I'm going to add 1 packet of instant oats and see if that's thick enough. I just blended that, pulsed it for a little bit. I might need 1 more of these, but we shall see. The kids are goofing around in the background. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I think it's funny, but if it's distracting, I'm sorry. So now I have 2 packets of the instant oatmeal, a little bit of flour, and then some salt. Don't worry, the chili flavor really overpowers any type of, like if you're thinking there might be a raw flavor. But if you're not vegan or vegetarian, you could add an egg to this. It's really up to you.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes.
Here is the final plate. I served mine with some chickpea mayo. I just always save the aquafaba whenever I rinse chickpeas, and then you mix it with some oils and lemon juice and things like that. I will leave the recipe down in the description box down below. I ended up grabbing some spinach, a little bit of pickle. I have tomato and some chips here. And I did want to say my pickles, all I do is use like a pickle jar from probably 6 months ago. I ate all the pickles out of it, then save the brine, and then I keep adding mini cucumbers to it. So that's another way to save in your house if you want to make some semi-homemade pickles. And now we're moving on for Brinner, which is breakfast for dinner. We are going to make some chocolate banana pancake biscuits is what I call them. So you're going to need about a teaspoon of baking powder. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of baking cocoa, around a cup and a half of flour. We're using whole grain flour here. And then a splash of vanilla. You're going to do 2 bananas, not 1. And you are going to do the dry, then the wet, and then you're going to mix that together with around a cup and a half of water, or you could use milk in this instance. And you are just going to mix this together, and you are going to form a biscuit consistency, not a pancake consistency. So I will show you what that looks like. It's a little bit on the wet side, and then you are going to drop them onto your baking pan. So drop biscuits, that's where that term is coming from. These are going to be naturally sweetened by the banana, but I'm going to sprinkle on some powdered sugar when they're done. You could certainly serve them with maple syrup, but I like to try and keep a little bit of sweetness in there as well. The banana, I will say, is not the type of sweetness you may be used to, maybe accustomed to by processed sugar, but it's always okay to add a little extra sugar, in my opinion. So I'm going to put those in the oven, and then I'm going to move on to an omelet. There's enough in the budget here for $5 to add some spinach. So I do have some frozen spinach at all times in the freezer. I put that on top of there, and then I'm going to divide this little egg mixture in half. That is my cheater way of making an omelet. Shout out to my dad. He taught me that when I was really young. I always was confused how he made such perfect omelets. And then one day he gave me the secret. So just divide it in half there, and then we are going to add some cheese and call it good. Whenever I want to have, eggs with the family, all I do is just shred up some chickpeas. No, it's not the same. I get questions, do I miss eggs? I really don't. I've never really been an egg person, so I just fry up some chickpeas and do some onions and bell peppers and call it good. I know it's not going to be the same, but that's what I do for my protein in scenarios like this. And then I am just going to serve it up here, and I will show you how it comes out. We are doing cast iron pizzas tonight, so I am just going to be using the Kroger pizza crust mix, and You just essentially add some hot water to it. It's really easy, and I am adding it to a greased cast iron pan. I actually had a huge lunch today, so this is not going to be vegan. This is not a meal for me, but it makes a pretty large pizza for the family here. And I found the meat, I'm using pork in this situation, for $1.77 at Kroger. So I cooked it up in the crock pot and shredded it with barbecue and called it good. I am super excited because it made so much that we have room to add it to the freezer. So yay for deals, first of all. So never be afraid to look in your meat sale section. As long as you're like cooking it up in the next couple of days, you can freeze it. So here I am just spreading out to the dough, and you will see I get little holes here and there. If you have not caught on by now, I'm not really a perfectionist in the kitchen. If it tastes good, that's all that is important to me. So I'm just filling those holes in, and I'm gonna bake this at 450 for around 10 minutes. And here it is when it comes out. You don't want it too done. And we are going to use barbecue sauce as our sauce portion. Then we are going to be putting some of the pulled pork on top, which is also mixed with barbecue sauce.
This time of the year, I can't stop asking why I'm struggling to stay. It's a mystery why I'm here. I guess I'm just too tired of fighting.
This is optional, but we have frozen peppers and onions at all times as well. They make a pretty huge bag and sell it at Dollar Tree. So I'm just adding those on here. Optionally, you could add apple to this. It tastes super delicious, as per my husband says, and it's a nice little twist on your classic pizza. I do have some fresh rosemary growing in our windowsill, so I'm going to top it with that, as well as some of this cheese. If you look on the app or if you go into Kroger, there are cheeses, block cheeses. They're 7 ounces, not 8, and they are $1.77. Or you could just go to your clearance section and get a bag of cheese if you want. I didn't see any, but I don't know why that extra ounce tends to be pretty expensive. In my area, it brings block cheeses to like $2.49, but if you subtract an ounce, it's $1.77. So it's perfect for ideas like this when meals should be $5. So I'm gonna cut this up and serve it up to the family. And then next we have some fried rice. I always include fried rice on my $5 meals. I'm sure you've noticed that, but I try and do something different every time. I have some brown rice here, as well as some asparagus. I have green onions that normally I'm just growing in my windowsill here. I have broccoli and onions, and I have some carrots. I am making this vegan, but you could use some of that pulled pork. You could use a can of tuna. Chicken is pretty inexpensive, and I think any of those would work for this type of dish. I'm just adding some extra broccoli, and then I'm going to top mine with some sesame seeds and hemp seeds. And then I do like to fry this up with low sodium soy sauce, which is essentially just soy sauce watered down. So I don't know why I keep getting it, because I could just make it myself. And then I do put some sriracha on here. It was a little spicy for my liking, but it brought us to around $2.50, and that was serving 3 people. So I was pretty excited about that. The asparagus was on sale, like a mega sale, I feel like, but I topped it with green onion, and then of course I always have edamame. Shout out in the comments below if you like edamame or if you've ever heard of it. I never had until I came to Colorado, but it's super delicious, steamed with some salt. And that is going to do it for these $5 meals. I really hope you got some inspiration to cook on the cheap for your family. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative, and I will see you next time, everyone. Bye.